So let's get to the point. After installing the crop mode build, once the camera is turned on, enter the menu by holding down the bin button. And the first thing you have to do is go to the Models tab. Here you can load the basic models that are the crop mode, MLV Lite for activate the raw video, MLV Play to review your footage, and MLV Sound to activate the sound model. Finally, SD overclocking to improve the performance and writing speed of the camera. After that, turn off and start again the camera. The models we select are now active. Then move to the Back tab and select SD Overclock and choose the 240 MHz option. Turn off and start again the camera. Then move to the Movie tab and select Crop Mode. Choose any of the crop mode and click on the menu button to activate it. Now select Raw Video and click on the play button. Set Kill Global Raw to on for better performance. It means that you will be able to see the information of your setting in the screen before you start recording, but not during the shooting. Then go to Advanced and set Small Axe to More. This helps with avoiding overhead and corrupted frames. Finally, in the Sound tab, you'll be able to select your audio quality. If you have an external audio recorder, you can lower the quality in order to have some improvement in performance. But for the tests I did, apart from the high frame rate test, I used the audio at highest quality, because many people like me don't have an external audio recorder. So let's get into the crop mode options. We have 1x3, which is for the high resolution anamorphic modes. It reads all the lines of our image and bin 3 columns to 1 pixel. It gives us less aliasing, more bokeh, and is my preferred option. Then we have the 3x3 option. It skips 2 of 3 lines of the image and bin 3 columns to 1 pixel. It's a stable option, but I don't like it because it can generate a lot of aliasing and moire. Finally, we have the 1-to-1 option, which reads all the lines and the columns. Quality is nice, but the disadvantage is a big crop factor and less light because of the small sensor area used. So let's start with the 1x3 option. Click on play button to enter the main setting menu. For the highest resolution in this mode, we need to set our aspect ratio to 2:35. Doing so will activate the 3 main presets, 5.2K, 4.8K and 4.4K. I suggest using only the presets. As color depth options, we can choose with a range from 14 to 10 bit. Let's start with 14 bit and 5.2K and click the menu button to return to the main menu. To refresh our aspect ratio, we need to click again the menu button and then return to Magic Lantern menu. We need to do this operation each time we change our presets. Now our aspect ratio is the correct, and the crop factor for these settings is 161. With these settings, it's very important to set the correct exposure. Especially, we must not have clipping lights in the image. You can help yourself with the zebra function. To eliminate the clipping lights from the windows, I close the diaphragm a little until the zebra disappears. Let's start filming and see what happens. Tests will be done at the 2397 frames per second. I'm going to speed up the video. Mainly you get orange, which is good. I tried outside with a lot of light with the same settings, but it didn't work. To be able to work 5.2K 14-bit outdoors, you have to avoid hard light to not be forced to underexpose. So let's reset the bit depth to 12 bit. I clipped the lights coming from the windows, opening the aperture to see how 12 bit works. And with these settings you can get 1 minute and more. Orange all the time. Outside with the correct exposure I get orange and green. Let's try now 10 bit. Windows overexposed. Green from the beginning until the end. Orange and green 11 bit outside. Very well. Let's go to 48K 14 bit. Crop factor 174, very close to 52K. Windows overexposed. Green all the time. Very nice. Let's see how it works outside. Mainly orange and green. Good. Now let's try 48K 12 bit, as far my favorite. Beautiful green all the time. Let's try now for 4K 14 bit, very stable and versatile. Crop factor 190. Green all the time. We have the option to film 16:9 with a 1:3 mode, and I prefer it to the regular 1080p 3:3 because of less aliasing. For this we'll set 42K 16:9 14 bit. Here the crop factor is about 2. Green without problems. Now another important thing, if you want to film at a lower resolution than the presets, crop factor will rise and you wouldn't get what you see. For example, here I'm lowering the resolution. framing is not real. Let's check the 3x3 crop mode. We'll start testing the 1080p preset. Even if you set 16:9, the screen will show you 3:2, but no problem with this. Bit depth 14-bit. With the function kill global draw on, you'll see a different frame while recording. Do you see that? You can get the correct frame if set kill global draw to off. Let's try now the iframe red options, starting with the 16:9 46 frames per second 14-bit. In this case, I'll disable the sound recording. We get orange all the time. With this option, 14-bit didn't work outside with highlights. So I lowered to 12-bit, and it worked pretty well. Orange. For 57 frames per second, you need to set to 35 aspect ratio. In this mode, I used directly 12-bit when filming. Pretty well. Finally, let's try the 1:1 crop mode, starting with 25K 14-bit. But first I turn on sound recording for the test. And adjusting the resolution. Very stable with this build. I tried it outside in a bright light. The only problem with this mode is the crop factor 3.3, but you can use a wider lens and get beautiful images. And my last test was 28K resolution, 1:1 12-bit with a crop factor of 2.9. Green without problems. So as we have seen, we are already able to film with our Canon EOS M in high quality with high bit depth. Let's compare the regular 1080p with the 16:9 anamorphic option. Difference in crop factor is small. In the regular 1080p you can see aliasing and moire, while we don't have this problem with the 16:9 1:3 mode. Moreover, if we zoom in 4 times, the difference in quality is notable. Both images were upscaled to 4K Ultra HD. Now let's compare 5.2K versus 4.8K. The crop factor difference is minimal. And as you can see, there is no aliasing and moire. For me, it's almost impossible to see difference in quality. Now, what about quality and video noise? I filmed 5.2K in 14-bit, 12-bit and 10-bit, with the same light and exposure. Now I'll raise the exposure of each image in order to see more clearly the video noise generated from each image. I'll set the exposure to 2. Now zoom in. 14-bit, 12-bit, 10-bit. From these images you can see how much noisy 10-bit is, only as an extra information. I personally prefer to film in 4.8K, 14 and 12-bit. They are very stable. The difference of the crop factor with the 5.2K is minimal, and honestly I don't see big difference in quality compared to 5.2K. A very important thing before starting to use this new mode is to set in the camera menu image quality as RAW and to set AEF method to FlexiZone to avoid black or frizzy images in live view when using 3x3 modes. Another very important thing is the use of the recommended SD card, such as the SanDisk Extreme Pro. That's all for now. See you soon.